Jessica Gish here.
I just want to hug you.
Jan and I are here to do a cook with me video today. We're gonna be making Canadian butter tarts. My mother-in-law makes them every year for Christmas and Thanksgiving, or at least one of my sister-in-laws makes them. Somebody makes them every
We
year.
have 2 more children. They might want to come join, but that's okay.
She's saying her sisters might join us during the video. We're gonna be attempting to make butter tarts for the first time today. My mother-in-law is Canadian, and so we're gonna be using her recipe. It's actually from her mom. So this recipe is gonna be from Iola. Thank you so much, Grandma Wilson. And let's see how it goes. I've never made them before. I'm a little bit nervous. What do you think? How do you think it's gonna go?
Great.
Okay. All right, let's get started. So these tarts just use a basic pie crust recipe, and I'm just going to be using one that I found on Pinterest. It's really simple and easy and only has a few ingredients. So we're going to be incorporating this cubed cold butter into the flour, and then using your fingers, break it up until it turns into crumbs. If you've never tried a butter tart before, I've been told that they are Canada's best kept secret. When I was researching these, it turns out that these are one of the very first original Canadian recipes, so they're definitely authentic. These are an important part of the holidays for my husband's family. They have them for every Christmas and Thanksgiving, and they love them.
To every corner of this godforsaken mall, what in the world would be that something that made you see that I love you? All I've got to give for Christmas is a Christmas kiss. Close your eyes and pucker your lips, 'cause here it is, your Christmas kiss.
These tarts contain a gooey caramel type center, and they taste delicious. One of the main ingredients of the center is brown sugar, and then the second is butter. So you can imagine how good they are.
It's something we can share and take with us.
This recipe has been around for a very long time, so as other recipes of its day also say, it calls for sifting your brown sugar, but modern day brown sugar does not sift very well, so we decided to omit this step, and they turned out just fine.
So close your eyes and pucker your lips, 'cause here it is, your Christmas kiss.
By this point, between the vanilla and the brown sugar, the kitchen was smelling heavenly.
Christmas is this. A Christmas kiss. So close your eyes and pucker your lips. 'Cause here it is. Your Christmas kiss. Your Christmas kiss. Christmas kiss.
We're putting it on the counter? Mm-hmm. Why? You're making it all dirty. And you just cleaned it.
True, I am making it all dirty.
Are you supposed to make it all dirty?
The snow is falling white.
You can use flour to roll these out, but I used powdered sugar. I feel like it gave it even more flavor.
My way to you. How would you feel about packing up today? Living.
According to my sister-in-law Shelly, who is the butter tart pro, you have to spray the tins with more cooking spray than you've ever used in your entire life. So that's what we did, because she knows how to do this.
I would rather be somewhere with you without TV or
The recipe that I'm using is great on general instructions, but it was very vague on the details. So there weren't any instructions on how thick to make them, which might have been on purpose because it seems like there are different preferences about how thick you make them. After making a few, it seems like I liked them better thin, and I talked to Shelly and she said that she also likes them thinner. But I think it's whatever you prefer. I did find that they fell apart easier. These ones with the homemade crust did not fall apart, but when I tried it with the store-bought pre-made dough, they did fall apart when they were thinner, so keep that in mind. Also, I've heard that butter tarts are not supposed to be pretty, they are rustic. But I know I've seen some pretty ones. I definitely did not accomplish that. So after trying that with the first one, I decided to go for the rustic look. We've been enjoying our Christmas decorations over here. If you haven't seen my previous 2 videos of my Christmas decorate with me and DIY with me, you should check those out. But I've been toying with the idea of adding even more things. I just feel like it's never done, and I'm always thinking of things to do to make it even better. Do you feel this way?
snowed in somewhere, you and me. Let's get snowed in somewhere, you and me. All year long I've been keeping track of when I've been naughty and nice. And from what I can tell, I've done more good deeds than I've told lies. I can
Evening by sugar.
You are.
Me too.
records agree, then maybe this year's
Now this is another area where the recipe leaves it up to preference. The amount of filling that you put in is partially preference, but also these tarts do puff up in the oven, and if you overfill them, they will go down the sides and make it really hard to remove them because the sugar will caramelize and then candy, and it will stick to the sides of the tins. So I found that there was kind of a good middle ground, because if you don't put enough, then they don't have that good gooey center, but too much, and then they're stuck in the pan.
Home to me.
Now we get to customize our butter tarts. From what I understand, there are 3 different main variations of these. There are ones filled with raisins, pecans, and plain. And I hear that the originals were filled with currants, but I couldn't find any of those. After an initial higher bake to caramelize the sugar, you lower the temperature and then cook it for an additional who knows how long. The recipe doesn't really say, but I'm realizing after trying it with homemade crust and with the store-bought that it varies based on what kind of dough you're using. So with the homemade, it took about 11 to 13 minutes, and then with the store-bought one, it was about only 9. So you kind of just have to watch them and wait for the crust to start to turn brown.
Coming around, trust me.
Now this is another tricky part that Shelly warned me about before I started. So she said that you need to make sure that you take them out before the sugar has time to cool, because then they'll be stuck. But you need to take them out after they've had a chance for the butter to set a little bit so that they don't run everywhere when you try to pull them out. This will also give the crust a chance to firm up so that it doesn't crumble apart. Who's ready for a butter tart?
He's coming home.
Oh, the littlest one.
Be careful with them because they are a little hot.
I want this one.
What do you think, Gwen?
Can we get this one is hot. Smells good. You smell
What do you think?
good, and it smells even better.
So good. They're so good. Oh my gosh. And these are ugly ones. Imagine if they actually turned out good.
This didn't turn out good?
I thought they were going to be great, and they are.
It matters what's on the inside.
Thanks, guys. To any Canadians out there who might be watching, I'd love to hear your best or favorite butter tart memory. Since I never grew up with these, I don't have any, but my girls love them and they are so excited for them to be part of our future traditions. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate each and every one of you. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any of my future videos. I love to have you along on this journey that we're sharing. I make new videos every single week, so come back for more. And until next time, take care and I'll see you later.